Today on Investigate TV Plus, there are more electric vehicles than ever before. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Why researchers say EV drivers could be at a greater risk when on the road.
What goes to your mind when you see this?
Death, honestly, like I'm probably gonna die if that happens to me.
Plus, an eye-opening demonstration.
We're ready if you're ready.
Reveals a blinding danger in the sky.
It's disorienting, it can be blinding, and prevents you from seeing anything at all for a few moments.
We uncover what's behind a dramatic increase in aircraft laser strikes.
And after multiple bouts of a common illness, her son was diagnosed with a rare brain disorder.
As a mom, to watch your kid, who is normal, to just change overnight, it's hard.
The mysterious symptoms he developed and why the fight to protect him isn't over.
Then a team taking to serve and protect to the next level.
She's a role model to the other cadets. Anytime we need assistance with the new cadets, she is our go-to person.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
According to Kelley Blue Book, in 2023, a record 1.2 million electric vehicles were sold in the U.S. As more EVs hit the road, one study is raising concerns about driver safety.
What sparked those concerns? The vehicle batteries, specifically their weight. Electric car batteries have an average weight of around 1,000 pounds. Some electric SUVs have batteries weighing in at almost 3,000 pounds, about the weight of a gas-powered Honda Civic. While research shows heavier vehicles are safer for their own occupants, crash tests reveal that may not be the case when it comes to guardrails.
Investigative reporter Andy Parati shows us the destructive test results.
Yeah, I love it. It feels great. The drive's pretty smooth.
Javier Flores hits the road in his dream car, a Tesla Model 3 sedan, purchased about a year ago.
I love technology and I just feel like it's a really safe, intuitive drive.
When the Atlanta resident got it, safety was top of mind. But we uncovered a potential danger for him and thousands of Tesla drivers on the road today. Crash test video shows when the Tesla hit the guardrail at 62 miles per hour. The vehicle goes through the barrier.
You'll see right away, this is not typical of what we see with the NGS test.
What goes to your mind when you see this?
Well, death, honestly, like I'm probably gonna die if that happens to me.
That's not what's supposed to happen. Guardrails are meant to stop, deflect, or absorb the impact, like this crash involving a conventional vehicle. University of Nebraska researchers who conducted the test were surprised.
What we saw in the test is that maybe there's some other design features in electric vehicles that aren't, as compatible with our hardware as the current vehicle fleet is.
It's not just the Tesla. Researchers tested this electric truck made by Rivian as well. When the truck hit the guardrail, it plowed through the barrier.
We ruptured the rail very early in the event here,
failing to stop the vehicle.
I don't think it's hugely alarming. It's just things that we're trying to learn about the electrical vehicle fleet as they come online, and we're trying to get ahead of it.
Researchers say more testing is needed, but preliminary results show the weight, low center of gravity, and design of electric vehicles may contribute to the problem. Rivian trucks weigh nearly 2,000 pounds more than conventional pickup trucks.
They are not going to be shielded or protected. We'll hit right there.
Steve Eimers is a guardrail safety advocate. He says the crash tests showed the need for better collaboration between safety barrier engineers and electric automakers.
We need Elon Musk to have the same seriousness with which he runs SpaceX to come to the table and say, hey, we've got an issue with the Tesla.
Tesla did not respond to our request for an interview. Rivian declined to discuss the test results, but wrote in an email the Rivian R1T received a top safety pick award from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety in 2023.
It's crazy. It's kind of scary.
After watching the video, Flores hopes the two industries will come up with a solution soon.
So I don't really know what Tesla could do or like what infrastructure we can have on the highways to make things better, but a change needs to happen.
Experts say there's no quick fix to this or anything drivers can do. Either the guardrails will eventually have to change or the electric vehicles. While electric vehicles' low center of gravity prevent it from rolling over, the tests clearly show that there could be some sort of issue with the barrier's ability to keep drivers safe. Interview requests with the U.S. Department of Transportation went unanswered. In Atlanta, I'm Andy Perotti.
From the highway to the runway, we now take an in-depth look at jarring video of what may seem harmless to most, but is a serious threat in the cockpit. This is what happens when someone points a laser at an aircraft, a federal crime that's skyrocketing. In 2023, a record 13,300 laser incidents were reported to the Federal Aviation Administration, a 57% increase from 5 years before, in 2018. We uncovered the reason for this increase is complicated.
But first, reporter Morgan Lowe brings us a special demonstration in hopes more people think twice before shining a light.
We are taxiing down the runway at Deer Valley Airport to show you what this laser pointer looks like from a mile away.
What would this do to your eyesight?
You couldn't. Tell me you can see the runway with that. You can't.
It's a dangerous situation, and it's becoming all too common. Our analysis of Federal Aviation Administration data shows laser strikes increasing on private planes, commercial jets, even Air Force fighter jets.
I fly the F-35.
Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Smith was leading his formation back to Luke Air Force Base one night last fall when a laser struck his cockpit.
It was about 2,000 feet above the ground, and it shined on every one of our aircraft in sequence as we came back to land. It's disorienting, it can be blinding, and prevents you from seeing anything at all for a few moments.
Can you imagine the effect that might have on someone who is just starting to fly an F-35?
It could be catastrophic.
It's probably just a novelty thing. I've got this laser, let's see if I can hit an airplane, and people are ignorant of what the ramifications might be.
Cary Grant is a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force and current FAA safety team lead representative.
This is a 1957 Piper Pacer.
We're about to use his airplane to demonstrate what it looks like in a cockpit during a laser strike.
I have these glasses that are supposed to be protective.
1 mile away down the runway, another crew is standing by with a laser pointer.
What this will do is it'll sort of mimic what would happen if we were maybe 1,000 feet in the air and somebody was in the distance flashing a laser.
We're ready if you're ready.
Wow. Wow. That is bright. So that tiny little speck, that tiny dot on that end is lighting up the entire cockpit on this end.
By the time it gets here, it's blossomed. I'm shielding my eyes with the glare shield. If I was up, it would be blinding. You've lost your night vision when that happens.
Airport officials gave us special permission to do this demonstration. It's a sign of how important the aviation community takes this.
What do you think the solution is?
Eliminating lasers, we're not going to be able to do that, but education, and that's hopefully what we can do, is we can educate people that, hey, you think it's just a prank, it has to be taken very seriously.
Back at Luke Air Force Base, where they train new F-35 pilots.
Every week we fly at night, we have one of these occurrences.
Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Smith says he's concerned about what could happen with a less experienced pilot in the cockpit.
I was able to safely land, but it was a factor for multiple airplanes that night, and it could have led to an accident.
Between July 2016 and September 2020, the FAA identified 232 subjects in laser incidents, less than 1% of the total number of reported incidents during that same time. In a statement, the FAA told us investigations revealed various reasons for people pointing lasers at aircraft, including those who do not know how powerful the laser is, to people who do it intentionally. Those found intentionally pointing a laser at an aircraft can face federal charges, including a fine of up to $11,000.
Still ahead, after repeated bouts of strep, this mother says strange symptoms showed up in her son.
He said, I don't know why I'm doing this. My brain is making me do this. I can't control it.
We uncover a disorder that was difficult for doctors to diagnose and examine its costly impacts for one family.
Plus, tips to avoid a dental disaster. We show you how you can be your own investigator to get the deets on your dentist.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes. Strep throat, or strep, is a bacterial infection in the throat and tonsils caused by Group A Streptococcus. According to the CDC, preliminary data shows in 2023, strep infections reached a 20-year high. A Tennessee mom wants to raise more awareness about strep after multiple bouts left her son with mysterious symptoms.
Reporter Lauren Lowry has an in-depth look at how her son was eventually diagnosed with a brain disease and why she's taking her fight to lawmakers.
Whenever I'm like running, it's like just hard to focus on like where the ball's going.
Luca Giacco lost that focus nearly 2 years ago.
All of a sudden, he started really having OCD extreme. He's had facial tics and a shoulder. And as a mom, to watch your kid, who is normal, to just change overnight, it's hard.
Change that came after repeated cases of a common illness.
Luca got strep throat about 15 times in 4 years.
And an original diagnosis of ADHD that Christy didn't trust. What made you say it was something else?
I just knew that wasn't the right thing.
Christy was right. Luca was diagnosed with pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated to strep. It's known as PANS or PANDAS. It's an autoimmune, autoinflammatory disorder in the brain. The telltale signs? Sudden, strange behavior after several bouts of strep.
He said, I don't know why I'm doing this. My brain is making me do this. I can't control it.
To bring down the inflammation in Luca's brain, they traveled to Washington, D.C. for a 2-day infusion called IVIG. While the treatment helped tremendously,
it's been easier to control myself.
There was still one problem.
How much do you think you have spent on his treatment?
You know, I would say it's easily $25,000 to $30,000.
The Giaccos have been denied insurance coverage of the treatment twice, but a sentence in the second denial letter gave Christy an idea. It reads, quote, all decisions are made following applicable state and federal law. So the new plan? Change state law.
What can lawmakers in Tennessee do to help get health care coverage for this disease?
Hopefully we can get TennCare to cover it. The other thing is we have a mandate bill for insurance to pay for this.
Representative Susan Lynn filed 2 new bills that would create a health care mandate for coverage of PANDAS and PANS starting in 2025. Only 8 other states have laws like this. However, after just 4 minutes on a committee floor,
Senate Bill 2401, without objection, moves to General Subcommittee.
Lawmakers effectively killed the bills for the rest of the 2024 legislative session.
Incredibly disappointed, and I literally felt the crushed feeling in my gut. I just wish I knew why.
Leaving Christy to continue to fight for her son.
I am not giving up this easily. I didn't start this thinking it was going to be easy. Just disappointed because I think timing wasn't on our side, but it just means not right now.
In April 2024, the Giaccos won their fight to get Luca's treatment covered. Christy tells us the insurance company accepted coverage after the family's 4th appeal. In addition to the 8 states that mandate healthcare coverage for pandas, states like Texas and Virginia have created advisory councils to better research and understand the diagnosis.
Still ahead, igniting a passion.
It's quite fun because I am the smallest one, so I got to do all the fun jobs.
What sparked this teen's interest in protecting her community?
Plus, you put your smile in their hands. How you can dig up your dentist's past before they drill into your teeth.
Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms. According to the Cleveland Clinic, about 36% of Americans have dentophobia, a fear of dental treatment. 12% have an extreme fear, and the Cleveland Clinic says it's more common in women than men. Whether you fear them or not, how well do you really know your dentist?
Reporter Josie Sturman shows us how you can be your own investigator to check on your dentist before your next checkup.
You see them for cleanings, checkups, and cavities, but have you ever drilled down to find out more about your dentist? Open wide, because in this Be Your Own Investigator, we're going to walk you through some of the tools we use to check out dentists so you know their history before you take a seat in the chair. Dentists are like any other medical professional in the country. There are oversight boards that keep an eye on what they're doing and hand down disciplinary action when they make mistakes, engage in misconduct, or put patients at risk. Almost every state in the country makes some of this disciplinary action available online, either through the State Dental Board website itself or through the state agency that oversees licensing. Those listings typically detail discipline broken down by month or by year, or they may just have a list of all the dentists they've ever disciplined. It can be complicated to find disciplinary action. It may be hidden, though, in monthly board meeting minutes or in newsletters on the web. But often you can just search the state you live in and the phrase dental discipline, and you'll find disciplinary action listings. But what you can learn depends completely on where you live, because state laws decide what's public information. In many states, including Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio, dental boards provide little to no information about discipline on those lists, often telling you only the action taken by the board without much context. In places like Florida, Kansas, and New Jersey, however, their discipline listings let you download full documents that detail why a dentist was disciplined and what kind of punishment they were given. Indiana even makes complaints about dentists that result in discipline public, so they're very transparent. Now, regardless of whether you can see full listings of discipline where you live, you can always look up your specific dentist individually anywhere across the country. Just search your state and dentist license lookup. That should get you to the official state page for the agency that handles licensing. Generally, all you have to do is enter your dentist's name and hit search. Those pages will give you the background on your dentist's education, tell you whether they have permission to sedate you for certain procedures, and let you know whether they've ever been disciplined. It's helpful information that might have you saying, I don't think so, and thinking about finding a new provider when it's time for that next checkup. With this Be Your Own Investigator, I'm Josie Sturman.
Still ahead, service well beyond expectations.
I also like to see the faces on people when this little 5'2" girl is right next to a 6' guy, and I'm carrying just as much as they are.
How this teen is carrying her own weight on her journey to being a triple threat first responder.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime streaming online. Get the app for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. They're free to download.
Can you remember life at 16? I remember the really big hair frozen with Aquanet and cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes, yes.
I remember playing football, and I mean, that was a long time ago, right?
It was a long time ago.
I'm 50, so.
Good times.
Yes, good times. That was good times.
A Connecticut teenager is serving her community as a member of her fire department, and now as a police cadet.
Reporter Bryant Reed shows us how she's also encouraging other girls and women to protect and serve.
She's either on a fire truck or in a police car. Either way, Callie Thierfelder is here to help.
So my dad wanted me to grow up in an area where it's like-minded people, people that do things for the community.
She's a member of the Northville Fire Department, working alongside her dad. She grew up going to calls in a car seat. 14 years later, and she joined the department. Now a high school junior, she's now responded to nearly half of the calls taken by the fire department in the past year.
It's quite fun because I am the smallest one, so I get to do all the fun jobs. And I also like to see the faces on people when this little 5'2" girl is right next to a 6' guy, and I'm carrying just as much as they are.
On scene, she's recognized not only by her pink shield, but by the hard work she does too. Her parents are proud of what she does.
The best part of it is when it's all over and what other people tell me about what she's done.
And right down the road, Callie is a charter member of the New Milford Junior Police Cadets.
As a police cadet and a firefighter and also a training EMR, when I'm on a scene, I can get all aspects of it, and I can kind of help everybody mesh together a little bit better because I know what they're going to need because I've been a part of that.
Her advisor, Officer G, says the growth Callie has shown has been tremendous.
She's a role model to the other cadets, and anytime we need assistance with the new cadets that are coming in, she is our go-to person. And as a female, she has shown, great strength, leadership, and taking her role and responsibilities very seriously.
For Callie, it's bigger than just going to work. It's about being a role model to other girls and women, encouraging them to do what they love, find a new interest, and be bold.
Don't be afraid of what you like. Always do what you want, because the people that hold you back are always going to be jealous of you. They want to do what you want to do.
You know, it struck me from that story, obviously everything she's doing, but she's so wise for her age.
Yes.
Like, think about some of the messages she was saying in that story.
I think we'll hear a lot more about her later on.
I think you're right. All right, that's it for us here on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Investigate TV Plus, cutting-edge technology solving some of the nation's coldest cases.
Is this technology helping you catch killers?
It is, absolutely.
An in-depth look at the science that's opening cases in hopes of bringing closure to families.